Hey everyone, my name's Will Freeman.
And I'm Kira Freeman.
And welcome to Summer Games Fest's first ever Green Games Showcase, brought to you by Planet Play. I've just always loved games my whole life, and obviously I love that they're these immersive worlds, they tell these amazing stories, they take me away and they entertain me. Something else I really love about games and really believe in is they've got this potential to make a really positive difference to the world we share, and essentially that's what today is all about.
Exactly, and that's why we're so excited to take you through some games today that aren't only delivering great gaming experiences, but also making a positive difference to the planet. So with that in mind, we've got some great game trailers to go through today. So from new releases to established hits, we're going to go through how we can make a real difference through games, and all we have to do is play.
Right, and the Green Games Showcase, I mentioned before, is brought to you by Planet Play. So let's just stop briefly to talk about what Planet Play is, who Planet Play are. Planet Play is a not-for-profit gaming platform that helps games generate funds to help address the climate emergency. 100% of the proceeds raised currently go to certified green projects. What that means is going to projects on the ground, making a real practical difference to protecting our planet's future and to improving people's lives for the better.
And we're hoping to raise $150,000 just from today's stream. So no pressure there, Will. So if you want to help even more, there will be some exclusive in-game green items. So why not treat yourself to some of those? You can also share the games with your friends and spread the message of the green gaming movement.
And as you'll see, loads of the games we're going to share with you today are PC games. You can get many of those PC games and loads of more great green games over at planetplay.com. You can also, if you want, go there and just make a direct donation to help our fundraising target for today. And in fact, a few of the game companies whose games we're about to look at have already made donations there. So honestly, just thank you so much. It's given us an amazing head start and it's going to let us make a practical difference.
And while we're saying thank you so much to Summer Games Fest for spotlighting green gaming as part of such a brilliant event. And now it is time for us to dive into our first category, which is games that are green by design.
So games that are green by design means that the game itself, the content you're playing, or at least a significant part of it, is about green issues. So the first game is Imagine Earth by Serious Brothers. It's a PC city builder that's out now, and it's also a climate crisis simulator. Really interesting. So let's take a look.
Your job as a space colony manager is to establish thriving and profitable colonies on a global scale.
Greetings.
Hi. Welcome to the Andromeda Galaxy. Build cities and their supply networks. Satisfy their hunger for resources.
However, right now I urgently require a shipment of titanium.
Take care of pollution and emissions caused by your expanding cities.
In the research panel, you can research upgrades for your buildings.
With increased climate change, natural disasters are becoming more frequent and severe. Let us use the second chance to change our way of life and to transform the production of energy and goods in a sustainable way. Achieving a balance between growth and sustainability is the final challenge for every civilization. Imagine Earth Limited, building sustainable civilizations.
Wow, what a great start. I want to get home and play that straight away. I guess I grew up with settlement builders, god games like SimCity, Populous, The Settlers. And to think about taking a game like that and adding, as you build your settlement, you've got to consider this kind of looming climate crisis and sustainability. It's just such a perfect pairing of kind of the green message and an amazing bit of game design.
Yeah, I love that. That you've got to think about all your different resources and kind of level everything up at the same time, but like Catan, which I love. And
so for the next game, we're going to look at Elwyn Quest of Time by Earthwise Games. It's a web-based card game about thriving with nature.
Lost in a world of winners and losers, the new game is rising. Win means thriving. New rules to play, new ways to gain. As we win the game, you will rule the world. Rise to unite, play to thrive. Turn the tide on loss and division.
Oh, well, I like the look of that actually. I do love a deck builder. Well, we've played quite a lot of Dominion, haven't we, at home? So and also when it's all automated, you don't have to shuffle the cards yourself.
Yeah, and you don't have to argue about the rules. And yeah, just so interesting. It reminded me of Dominion, Ascension, I guess Hearthstone, Balatro.
So next we've got Longleaf Valley by Trees Please Games. It's an award-winning mobile tree planting merge puzzler.
That's obviously the kind of game with a really wide appeal, and that's important. Like, I definitely love a kind of niche, pretentious genre myself, but I also love these games just with this hugely wide appeal, because that gets the green message to more people and the fundraising coming from more people.
Think of all the real trees getting planted in real life. I find that really exciting.
Yeah, and speaking of exciting, next we're going to look at Out and About by Yaldi. I love this one, a cosy foraging game, and it's going into early access soon, so keep an eye on it, get wish listing.
I love that one. I think I could lose many hours, if not weeks, into that game. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. It just gave me a kind of real sense of that wonderful feeling of spending time in the countryside.
So next we're going to look at Hawthorne from Near Studios, which is coming soon to Steam. So get that on your wish list. And there's a Kickstarter out for that now. So let's take a look.
They call it Windermere. This place, nestled in its ancient and unsung valley. They live here, together, the animal folk. Mice from Lundwick, otters from Otterheim, and owls from High Arry. They've returned. Resettled this valley, ill aware of its shadowed history. These bold homesteaders explore, carve a place for themselves here, weather the four seasons, and lay claim to the land's bounty. Here, they live and they laugh. They forge their own stories. And make memories. I envy them. Perhaps one day, will earn each other's trust.
Oh, I absolutely love that. I mean, I think I'd almost rather live in that world of animals than our world of humans. Like, such a, yeah, you could kind of feel the lore and the storytelling. And coming off it, that game is a place I want to be.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it look like you are living with all of those animals. It's like it kind of makes you more invested in nature as well, doesn't it?
Next, then, we're going to look at Sky Farm Island by Mesh Minds. It's actually a Roblox game, and it's set in the Garden City of Singapore. Really interesting concept. Let's see what it's about.
I can so imagine the kids getting into that, because taking those real life, like, educational lessons and putting them into that format, I mean, you're onto a winner, really, aren't you?
Yeah, really powerful stuff. And I guess, the youth of today are the custodians of our planet's future. So engaging them now through something as popular as Roblox, what a powerful idea. I love it.
And next we've got World Reborn by Wicked Saints, and it's the world's first adventure activism game.
Hey, I'm Jess with Wicked Saint Studios. Our game, World Reborn, is the first game of its kind where fantasy narrative gameplay meets real-life changemakers. Beautiful art and immersive storytelling will reveal where your unique strengths lie and give you small ways to change your reality. We touch any cause you care about, and we're excited to feature real-world quests to save our planet in our grand launch coming soon. But right now, it's out for a limited time, so you have 2 weeks to download the game and play.
Amazing stuff again. And that was actually the last of our games that we framed as green by design. Now we're going to look at a few games that include green activations. So a green activation, I guess, is something green in any game that's been designed as a piece of entertainment. So lots of the games we're going to see, they're not necessarily green games by theme, but working with Planet Play, they've added green elements, green fundraising elements. The first of those games is amazing. The Great Ocean by Actrio, a PC and VR undersea adventure game. Let's have a look at the trailer.
I felt really immersed in that straight away. I felt like we were under the sea and I was wanting to free the turtles. So next we've got Avakin Life by Lockwood Publishing, and this is a wildly popular mobile life sim, and it's coming soon to Steam, so another one to put on your wish list. Well, as a Step It Up to the Streets fan, it was quite exciting to see Brianna Evergan. That just shows the power of celebrity, right, to draw you into a game. So I was intrigued to check that out.
Yeah, and it's just amazing that celebrities can bring just more attention, more engagement with these really important green fundraising efforts with the What Planet Play and the Green Games Showcase is all about. Next, we're going to look at Fishing Clash by 10 Square Games. It's a mobile sports fishing sim, famous for kind of being really popular with real anglers, and made by a team who've been a really long-standing partner and supporter of about that, which you can see the genuine love for the subject matter, and I guess that's really important because it will pull people in with that love, and that makes them connect with that green messaging all the more. So yeah, like really, really important, valid stuff.
Yeah, so next we've got Klondike Adventure by Visor, and it's a mobile farm simulator set during the gold rush era, which sounds
Such a tremendous amount of detail squeezed onto every screen of that. That was really, really compelling to me. Like, I guess the idea of, a farm sim in a rural world is really lovely, but in terms of being engrossing, I loved how much detail was on display there. It really felt, again, like a nice place to be.
yeah, and also alerting you to stuff like, you know, endangered species and stuff, which I think is really important.
Yeah, great. And as simple as that, play the game, buy the right item, help the planet while you're having fun. Speaking of fun, next we're going to look at Puzzle Adventure by Pixel Federation. It's a supernatural mobile mystery game with detective and escape room elements. So loads going on. Let's see what that actually means.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Well, that one kind of combines two of my rabbit holes that I continually fall down, which is like supernatural and true crime. Well, not true crime, but crime and solving mysteries and stuff, all in a kind of top-down point and click adventure. I like the look of that.
Yeah, and I love that. I'm a big fan of the isometric perspective. That kind of little diorama world is so welcoming. And yeah, I just love the idea of it being a kind of detective mystery game. Yeah, another one I could rush home and play right now.
So next we've got Massive Warfare by Tiny Bytes. So this is a mobile online battle sim focused on tanks mainly. So let's have a look.
Really love that. It felt to me a little bit like a kind of modern take or a massively updated take on Atari's Battlezone from 1980, 44 years ago, the year I was born. But yeah, to show like bringing to life that classic game concept, and it looked kind of really vibrant and action packed. That generated like a nostalgia in me and this excitement about such a sort of contemporary looking game.
Oh, and you can get a Planet Play themed battle pass for that one. So that's the green activation.
And a really deep interaction with the game, which is really cool. And next we're going to look at another game by Tiny Bytes, actually, Battle Cars. It brings intense PvP vehicular combat to mobile, which is a concept I like the sound of.
Oh, that looked really, really fun, like a kind of Mad Max, Demolition Derby, Rocket League mashup.
I also just got a little bit of a vibe of the underrated, I'd love a sequel, but Calling All Cars, the early PlayStation Network game, I think 2007. But yeah, like you say, Rocket League, Mad Max, Destruction Derby, a bit Mario Kart, so many great things in one game. I mean, yeah, who couldn't fall for that one?
And next we've got Standoff 2 by Axel Bolt Studios, which is a free-to-play first-person action shooter.
Course, some intense and really competitive stuff there. I think that what that makes me think is any type of game can help contribute to the green effort, to green fundraising.
And the activation element is that chameleon pack that you can buy in the game.
Right, so next we're going to look at Sui from Letty Arts. This one distinct, so distinct. When I was kind of planning this, I didn't really quite know how to describe it. It doesn't seem to fit in a genre, but a distinct hyper-casual mobile ball weaving game informed by the kind of patterns you find across culture, across Africa. So yeah, really interesting idea. I'm definitely not describing it well enough, so let's take a look at what it is.
Yeah, it's really good to see the trailer. I actually downloaded it and played it. It was really, really fun and really different. So different to anything I've played before, really.
Yeah, taking those kind of cultural artifacts, those patterns, and making something that you really have to kind of interact with and get familiar with. I love that power of games to use kind of interaction to connect you with different things. So yeah, just another example of how powerful games can be.
So next we've got Zoocraft Animal Park Tycoon, and that's by Lab Cave Games, and it's a mobile zoo builder simulator.
Cool, I've got to admit, I've always kind of secretly fancied the idea of being a zookeeper, working in a zoo, like the conservation efforts there. But as I've spent the last 19 years being a writer in the games industry, I'm not really qualified. But fortunately, thanks to Zoocraft, Animal Park Tycoon, I can give that a go. Yeah, one I definitely want to throw some time into.
From today, you can buy their tree bundle, and 50% of the proceeds from that go to Planet Play's wildlife protection projects.
Next, we're going to look at Orna by Northern Forge. Now, this is a mobile turn-based MMO RPG. It's got classic pixel art, as you'll see, and interestingly, GPS gameplay. So let's see what that's all about. God, nice stuff. Getting me nostalgic again with that real kind of classic RPG look. And, you know, I guess pocketable monsters don't completely have to dominate the kind of location-based gaming space. Really interesting seeing kind of something else bringing fresh ideas to that genre.
You might have heard of this next one. It's Heyday, and it's from Supercell, so one of the biggest mobile gaming companies there is. And it's a mobile farming game, so let's have a look.
Now, let's check out the new events and decorations coming your way.
Heyday is joining this year's Green Game Jam.
To support this year's cause, we've prepared special Let It Be events in the first few days of the month, all focused on raising awareness and protecting bee habitats.
Here's how you can help. During the Global Help event, revive trees and bushes on other players' farms.
Every help action brings the community closer to the global goal, and once we reach it, Heyday will donate to bee-saving efforts around the world. You can also take part in the Cozy Task event, where you can earn the roundabout and the spring fence, and track your progress in the Let It Be decoration collection.
The Farm Pass will bring decorations like the Groovy Stage and Groovy Coop,
along with an animal hat, perks, and handy items.
As one of the most played mobile games there is, we probably don't need to share too much on what Heyday is. You saw it there, kind of brilliantly demonstrated. It's really amazing that we've got absolute giants like Supercell supporting the fun today. It just shows the power of a game becoming a global phenomenon like many of Supercell's games have become, and that popularity opens up an opportunity to help, yeah, again, with this critical effort to face off climate change.
Yeah, it just goes to show that you can, by playing the games that you love, you can still help the planet, and that's what we're all about.
Next, we're going to go over to Flick Solitaire by Flick Games, an amazing, really popular suite of mobile games that's actually coming to Steam this summer, so another one to wishlist. And remember, a wishlisting kind of, as well as helping the game, it really helps the cause, so worth doing.
Oh, that's one for my dad, that one. He's been playing the same solitaire game on the PC since the 90s. So it's amazing to see it looking so fresh and vibrant with all of those beautiful designs that they've got on there, all by independent artists.
Yeah, I love that, like taking such a familiar game, like one of the most played games of all time, Solitaire, and using it as like a gallery, a showcase for different artists. And actually you can unlock a green pack showcasing different beautiful art from different artists on the green theme in there. So yeah, they're doing some really interesting stuff.
And now we're on to our third and final category, which is games that have directly contributed to the Planet Play fundraiser.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about that is obviously not every game can be green by theme like the first games we looked at, and some games, their makeup or the way they're distributed means they can't even really appropriately host a green activation. But any game company can make a donation to help this effort. So yeah, it just shows any game can be green. And the first of those, I guess, game companies that has made a donation to this is Amazon Games through their game King of Meat, which is a co-op party platformer. It sets up 4 players against each other in these devious puzzle-filled dungeons. So yeah, let's take a look at the trailer.
Live and unedited from the thumping heart of the universe, King of Meat!
Who will be the next legend of King of Meat? Who? Why not you?
Tonight, 4 brave contenders pit their skills against the most deadly dungeons, devious death traps, and puzzling puzzles. We've got our joyfully unhinged friends at Comstruct locked inside a secret chamber, making devious dungeons for you to explore.
And now you can build for Comstruct in what we call Create Mode. Oh boy!
It's the universe's most twisted televised spectacle, King of Meat!
Yeah, I mean, sure, like such a vibrant, again, detail filled party game. Nice to see that amount of polish in a party game. Like Fall Guys a little kind of reminded me of, with so much else going on. But yeah, and not out yet. It's one you can wishlist on Steam. But yeah, keep an eye on that one. Great to be able to share a fresh trailer of a game yet to be released.
So next we've got Sociable Soccer 2025, which is from Tower Studios. And guess what? It's a very sociable football game.
Amazing. Yeah, if you didn't know, Sociable Soccer 2025 kind of comes from, obviously with his team, but the mind of John Hare, famous for being part of Sensible Software back in the day as an Amiga fanboy. It goes deep for me.
It's wicked to see that kind of that style of gaming still alive in 2025.
Yeah, and we're actually going to stay with John Hare himself for our next, I'm going to call it an item, because it's definitely not a game.
Meet John Hare, co-founder of Sensible Software. John created some of the most iconic titles of the 80s and 90s while composing unforgettable soundtracks. But now, John is taking on a new challenge. He's formed Sensible Band, a band that's ready to produce electrifying rock anthems and bring to life some iconic video game melodies. Get ready for their debut album, Positivity.
To see the music from that time brought back to us now in the current day is really nice. Right, so next up we've got Sunshine Days Town Builder by NetSpeak. And it's a laid-back, cosy farming town builder game, which sounds lovely. So let's take a look.
Blimey, yeah, strikingly vibrant game there. Something I love about that, I guess, big up NetSpeak, a relatively small team making a donation. It shows you don't have to be a giant to support this kind of cause. But actually, despite being a relatively small team, people involved in the game come from 25 different countries, and I love the idea of any game having that much variety of background and kind of cultural influence coming in. I said the word vibrant, and perhaps that's the secret. So yeah, really interesting to see that. And another donor, so it's time to give a shout out to Shark Mob for donating to the fundraiser today. And we're going to take a look at the trailer for Exoborn, a PC and console kind of futuristic open world extraction shooter. Kind of extraction as a mechanic is really booming at the moment, cropping up in all kinds of genres in really interesting ways. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Shark Mob are up to with it.
Reborn. Let's finish the fight.
Because after we do this, everything is gonna change.
Cool. I mean, big up Shark Mob for their donation, but big up Shark Mob for producing something so polished. That looks amazing. Like I mentioned it before, like Extraction's really booming. It delivers so much, like the extraction mechanic of like having to get out, and often the extraction points kind of bringing everyone together for really intense battles. Now, from a game you've no doubt seen before to perhaps one you won't have heard of, next we're going to look at Bahamut and the Whack Whack Tree, a 2D adventure game rooted in Arabian mythology. So yeah, fascinating already. Let's check the trailer.
Oh, I love the rich visuals on that. I really wanted to dive in, if you get my meaning.
Dive in, very nice. Just to say, that one is coming soon to Steam, so another one to wishlist. And yeah, just keep an eye on it because it looks like a great game. Made by Starvania, so yeah, thank you Starvania for the donation, really helping. Thanks so much.
And another one coming soon to Steam is Azuma Escape from Ash Games. And this sounds very intriguing. It's a comedic stealth game where you have to try and escape people's hospitality. So let's have a look.
I love that. Like, there's been some great comedy games over the decades, really. Like, you know, seeing Monkey Island's return not so long ago, like Jazz Punk. There's been so many great comedy games, but I always want more comedy games. And to see kind of inverting the pretty serious tone of stealth into something I guess we're already all familiar with is, you know, being a social thing you don't feel like being is. I absolutely love that. What a wicked idea. The next developer to shout out is Tilting Point. Once again, donating to this fundraiser, helping us hit that target. So yeah, we're going to take a look at their game Avatar Realms Collide, an immersive 4X strategy game available already on mobile.
Well, I'm really looking forward to actually having a go at that one, having watched quite a lot of the Airbender series with our son. It looks really great.
Yeah, and I love that. I mean, Avatar with its different tribes and regions just has such a, coupling that with 4X is such a great idea. And of course, the team have also made a donation to today's Planet Play fundraiser. So yeah, really great stuff to see.
So next we've got Ritual of Raven. So this is a story-based farming sim, but you don't have to do the farming yourself. So let's have a look at that one.
I love that idea of, it's described as it's got a witchy twist using arcane magic to kind of help with your farming. So really interesting stuff and such a beautifully illustrated game. You felt you could really feel the kind of human hand in the way that looked.
Yeah, I just wanted to disappear into that world. It looked really inviting.
Yeah, and that brings us to the last game of today's Summer Games Fest Green Games Showcase. I think it's a world you'll have heard of. It's probably a world you'll have spent some time in. Yeah, shout out to the Walking Dead team because they've also donated to today's fundraiser, getting us nearer to that $150,000 target. That's going to make such a difference. So yeah, we're going to look at the Walking Dead. It's actually a 5-part game series, and of course it's set in the same universe as Robert Kirkman's award-winning comic book series. Let's take a look.
Rated M for mature.
You know, I've driven a bunch of fellas down to this prison. Usually it's about now I get the, I didn't do it.
Every time?
Every time. People up and go mad when they believe their life is over.
In the road!
This other time...
now?
Staying put for too long is a mistake. Those things are all over the damn place.
I know who you are. And I know you're a killer.
I'm so hungry, Lee.
Everyone's starting to hate me because I'm the one that rations the food. There's not enough for everyone. Good luck.
I don't know much about you folks. If y'all keep going on like this, that girl ain't gonna make it.
You put that girl in danger again, it won't be walkers you have to worry about.
Get it off, goddammit! Get it off me! Shit! Walkers!
I'm gonna have to cut you out.
Try the trap again! Anything, please!
I mean, such a well-received, compelling game series already. You know, I think the whole reason that version of the apocalypse is so compelling, or the looming apocalypse is so compelling, is that what would I do? How would I feel? I reckon I'd do it right. And that chance to dive into that world and experience it, just really amazing stuff in a and I just love the visually distinct style of that one too. And it's our last thank you, but thank you to Skybound Games for donating to today's fundraising effort. Another amazing thing that's been happening in this really exciting green gaming space at the moment has been the Solarpunk Game Jam. The jam's being hosted by Trevor Noah's Day Zero Productions and the team over at Anima Interactive, and they're just doing some amazing stuff, making really interesting green games. So let's have a look at what's been going on at the jam. And there you go, we have it. The last of many brilliant, brilliant games making a difference to the future of our planet, and a positive difference, importantly.
Yeah, and I'm just really, really excited to go away, get to play some amazing games and impact our planet in a great way.
If you're into games, you've probably heard of Ian. Back in the 70s, he was the co-founder of Games Workshop. He was the co-creator of those amazing fighting fantasy books. He was the driving force behind bringing games like Tomb Raider to the world, and also the driving force behind bringing Dungeons and Dragons to Europe. Like, I've worked in games for a long time and been lucky to know Ian a little, and he's just always been there evangelising for games' ability to educate, to inform, to make a positive difference to the world. I wanted to start by asking you, fundamentally, what is it about games that lend them that power to educate, that kind of make them such a great vehicle for educating?
Well, I firmly believe games are a contextual hub for learning. I really discovered that way back in the 70s, playing Dungeons and Dragons and seeing how creative that was as a game and how it brought people together and people were improvising, and it's like theatre on the fly. So it's a very creative process. And then I used to write Fighting Fantasy game books. They were the very first branching narrative books with a game system attached to them, where children make choices at the end of each paragraph, set in a world of monsters and magic, turn left, turn right simplistically, or solving puzzles and rolling dice to fight the monsters. When it comes to video games, you can't get through a game without problem solving. It's impossible. So it's an interactive problem solving activity. You can fail in a safe environment. You're encouraged to try again. If you fail at first, you're not judged a failure like you are in an examination, which is a one moment in time there where one person's judged against another. We all learn at different speeds, and in a game you can learn at your own pace and encouraged to try again until ultimately everyone can become a winner. And games like Minecraft are effectively a creative tool, 3D digital Lego, effectively building these wonderful 3D architectural worlds. A child can learn contextually by applying the heat of a furnace to silica sand. They'll create glass, and they'll take that glass and put it in their environments, and they won't forget it because it's learning by doing, albeit it's a digital learning, it's still learning. And Roller Coaster Tycoon, effectively a management simulation. A child is learning the physics of building the rides, the staffing levels required to run those rides, and the pricing levels to make it a successful theme park. And if they get it wrong, they tweak the parameters and ultimately they become a winner. So every part of a game has some educational content. But the beauty of it is that people are having a great time.
Yeah.
And so why can't learning be fun? And that seems to kind of go against the traditional thought process inside the Department of Education, where they think gaming is trivial and learning has to be a turgid, horrible academic affair that bores kids to death. And I think just embrace games, because games are powerful in not just play, but in cultural, social and economic impact on the world.
Yeah, what motivated you? I guess this is bringing us onto the green issue, but what motivated you to get involved in what Planet Play are doing?
Well, it's obviously, of course, I believe in having a great planet where we can all enjoy and not kind of die as a result of our activities. And games, again, reach audiences that traditional media can't. And using games as well, you can gather data through activities and responses from people playing those games. And people who play games do seem to care a lot about everything. And I think it was just a great initiative that's been set to be able to use the power of play and the gaming audiences. And let's not forget there are 3 billion games in the world, and accessing parts of the world where, as I said, traditional media just cannot reach.
I guess sometimes people approaching games, maybe players or people watching this might be thinking, oh, do I want to watch a game with educational value? Does making a game with these kind of educational impacts mean an inherent sacrifice of its entertainment value, of its kind of quality as in that regard?
Hopefully not, because the game's all about having fun.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why learning can't be fun, as I said earlier. Therefore, I don't think any games maker should set out specifically to make a product that is purely educational at the expense of the entertainment context, because people just turn off and say, I'm not here to learn, I'm here to play. But in play, you are learning. When we enter this world as children, we learn through play. It's a natural process of learning.
To dig in a little deeper, kind of, you said game makers perhaps shouldn't think of making an educational game. Have you got any more advice to developers? I guess I'm thinking particularly you're making that entertainment product that's guided by your creative vision, but how you can install it with kind of educational value.
Well, I'll backtrack a little.
Okay.
I don't mean to say they shouldn't set out to make an educational game, but when they do, should not sacrifice the entertainment value and the mechanics of enjoyment in any way, because that's what people play a game for.
If a developer's got some kind of narrative-driven game, how they can think about the educational legacy that game.
Well, you can make people aware of events and issues through a game in context. If it's in context, then it's fine. If it's just thrown in, look at this because it's important, then you're talking to me and you're trying to direct me in a certain way. I want to have my own opinions.
Right.
But happily, if the game brings those problems that exist to my attention through the game, that's fine.
Well, Ian, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us today. Obviously, thank you so much for your work as ambassador of Planet Play. Thanks again, Ian.
Game on.
Cheers.
Thank you.
And with that, happily and sadly, we are done. What an amazing spread of really interesting, different, distinct games that are all really making a difference to the planet we live on. And that's what this is about. It's about that fundraising, trying to hit that $150,000. But it's about more than that. It's about protecting the future of this planet we all share, and doing that through playing games. So what can you do? Just a reminder, if any of today's games caught your eye, download them, play them. If they're not out yet, wish list them. If you go into any of those games and you find that there's green items you can buy in the games, do that. That will really help with the cause. Just tell your friends, spread the word, spread the message. The more people involved, the more we can do. And do get over to planetplay.com to find a load of other games that help the planet in so
Welcome to Dying Light.
Please welcome your hosts, Laura Bailey and Matt Mercer.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Future Game Show Summer Showcase. My name is Laura Bailey, though you probably know me best as Abby Anderson in The Last of Us Part 2, or as one of the cast members from Critical Role.
Indeed. And I'm Matt Mercer, the man behind many video game chaos merchants, such as Like a Dragon's Mad Dog Majima and Ganondorf from Tears of the Kingdom. But if it's a Thursday night, I also moonlight as Critical Role's debonair dungeon master, where Laura tries her best to test the very limits of my abilities and sanity.
And you love it. But we're here today joining forces for a very different reason. Exclusive video game trailers, and lots of them.
Indeed, and like a whole bunch of world premieres, deep dives, and developer presentations, it's frankly an irresponsible amount of video game news that will be beamed directly into your brains for the next 90 minutes, so buckle up.
Don't make it sound so scary. This is gonna be fun. Just keep in mind that if you want to wishlist any of the cool games in today's show, then you can head to the dedicated Future Game Show Steam page.
Indeed, and once the show's over, there'll be plenty of follow-up coverage on GamesRadar.com and the Future Game Show YouTube channel.
Well, I think that's all of the housekeeping out of the way. So let's kick things off with our very first world premiere.
Zafar, pull up NavTech.
Just a sec. Got it.
Taki. We gonna find out about your Kopang right quick, okay?
Just want to do him justice. Stuck his neck out for us. Least we can do is get him out alive.
We've got big enough guns to make justice, all right?
Oh, Michael. To a man with a hammer, just about everything looks like a nail.
Aim for show. Time to say oh yeah with our hammer.
Missile range in 1 minute.
Brace yourselves. We're going for a spin. Zafar, did you get a signal?
After the large haul down this corridor, they shut down this part of the facility. Long time before our arrival.
Fine. Let's deal with those guys first.
In Yelota. They never look up. Zafar, you were right. They shut down this.
Wait! Hold on, I'm coming! I'll cover you. The bird up high shall be thine eyes.
What the hell happened here?
Hey, buddy.
Can I just stop breathing?
What a way to start the show! The Expanse Osiris Reborn is an action RPG crafted in Unreal Engine 5, where you can immerse yourself in the universe of the beloved TV series. Make sure it's on your wish lists.
Sounds pretty awesome. And we're treating you to another world premiere right now and swapping sci-fi for fantasy in the process. So let's take a look.
I used to swear by my father's oath. To protect the wards is to protect our people. And if it claims our lives, what's one life lost for the sake of the many?
And now, what do you swear by today?
The only one that matters is my brother. And I will kill the people who took him from me.
Rin, take my hand!
I hear not the clamor of conquerors.
The pestilence must be purged.
Your father was right about one thing. The wards are breaking. And should we fail, it may spell another end.
We're thrilled to reveal Echoes of the End, a narrative-driven fantasy adventure coming later this year.
But the fun doesn't stop there. Here's another world premiere.
It's important to note that this is your very first look at the game, but from what I can tell, There's evil residing in these woods.
An isolated cabin in the woods. What could possibly go wrong? That was your first look at Whispers in the Fog.
It's a psychological horror game from a supremely talented solo developer. Be sure to give it a wish list if you like what you see.
And next up, we've got a trailer for an open-world action RPG based on the beloved anime, The 7 Deadly Sins. Let's check it out.
The 7 Deadly Sins Origin is coming soon to PC and PS5, but you can pre-register now at 7origin.netmarble.com.
Okay, it's time to learn about what's coming in Season 7 of free-to-play Destructo shooter, The Finals. Let's take a look.
Welcome to the future of the finals! The pressure's peaking. Every second counts, and these plays are next level.
This is what the finals is all about. Split-second decisions, teamwork under fire, and victory carved in chaos.
Love it! But sometimes the best strategy is to just hit your opponent really, really hard.
Season 7 of the finals launches on June 12th. And whether you're a seasoned veteran or a new contestant entering the arena, if you're tuning in on the FGS Twitch channel, you can earn a Twitch drop of this Kablamo grenade skin.
Yes, anybody who watches this very show for 15 consecutive minutes on the FGS Twitch channel will earn the skin. So, If you've been with us from the very start, or you're just joining us, wherever you've been, then just stick around.
And not that you need any more reasons, but it's time to move on and talk about hurdling, a shepherd simulator with a whole lot of soul. Let's find out when you can get your hands on it.
Hurdling launches later this year, but you can try guiding those adorable calicorns right now by downloading the demo, which is out now on Steam. What's next, Laura?
Sleep Awake, which is anything but cute. It's a first-person psychedelic thriller that explores the realm between slumber and death. This game is helmed by Corey Davis of Spec Ops, The Line, and Robin Fink of 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, let's take a closer look then.
I cannot sleep. I cannot sleep. I must not sleep.
Come along. This way. You're not ignoring me now, dear, are you? This is all perfectly natural.
I am awake!
Resisting the inevitable comes at a cost.
Give me your eye, dear.
Sleep Awake is coming soon, so drop it on your wish lists.
We've got a developer presentation for Ericsson, The Stolen Dream, up next. It's a cinematic isometric stealth game set in the year 1900.
Oh, isn't that the year you were born?
I am a few months younger than you, Laura.
I don't think so. No.
I must find her
He's all I've got.
before he does.
Eric's Home is a game set in kind of a fantasy version of the early 1900s, and it has a Scandinavian theme style to it. I would describe it as a stealth puzzle game with a very strong emphasis on story, where you play up to 3 playable characters that you switch between, and they have their own special abilities that you need to use together to kind of solve situations and puzzles in a kind of interlaced way where everyone's involved.
It's in this setting of a Scandinavian nature, which not only resonates with me, but with the rest of the world because it's so unique. It's always nice to see something new that people can relate to.
So I've worked a lot with like lighting and 3D rendering, cinematic lighting, stuff like that. So Anders showed me a rendering of one of the movies. It just floored me. I thought it was so beautiful. Then he said, okay, so Tio, what I want from you is I want you to make this look even better.
We play tested the game a lot, and what people usually say is that it feels like I'm playing a movie, but in a great way. River and Games was based on the idea that if you have the right mix of people, then perhaps a really small team can still make something that's actually pretty cool.
How is this made by 16 people? Like, why is this quality so high?
A little now and then I sit down in the couch and I just enjoy a fresh build. And the story just gets to perform. You're just drawn right in. It's a magical feeling.
I'm really excited for players to just discover this world. Eric's Home is coming to Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, and Epic Games Store. And we have an exclusive trailer that we're about to show you that will reveal the release date. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you so much to our friends at River End Games for that window into the world of Eric's Home. It's coming to PC, Xbox, and PS5 on July 15th.
So go wishlist it on Steam or the Epic Games Store. All right, now we've got a new trailer for a cel-shaded shooter with gameplay inspired by the Stalker series. Here's the latest trailer for The Explorator. The Explorator is launching into early access today, so go check it out on Steam and support the developers on the road to launch.
Constance is up next, a Metroidvania where you wield the power of a paintbrush to escape a decaying inner world.
Live into my interests. Constance is coming to PC on November 24th, but there's a demo available on Steam if you want to go give it a go after the show.
Those of you who have tuned in before will know that during the Every Future Game Show, we create a trio of deep dives into some of the most exciting upcoming games. Our ones to watch, you could say.
First game we're tackling for the summer showcase is Titan Quest II. Now, fans have been waiting since 2006 for a sequel to Iron Lore's cult classic action RPG, and the good news is, it's right around the corner.
So let's dig into the details with the help of Grim Lore Games.
Tell us the whole story. Tell us about hope.
Titan Quest II is kind of your Diablo-esque action RPG, but it's set in ancient Greek mythology. You really can immerse yourself in what you associate Greece with. You'll be fighting these mythological monsters, some of which we came up with ourselves, some of which are from Titan Quest I. Greek mythology also has become very much part of pop culture in the last 2 decades. Some other games have had great success with this, and we thought that we have this great IP on our hands, why not use it? In Titan Quest II, you'll be playing as a rather unknown hero character. You're not really a hero yet. You're honestly just training to be a capable fighter. You have a master called Aristano. She's from Sparta and used to be a priestess of Nemesis, as you'll find out later. You will build up your own worth over time as you prove yourself in front of the gods. Gameplay-wise, Titan Quest II is very much a classic ARPG, but we've got our own twists in there with like the mastery system, for example, where you merge 2 masteries into one instead of just being given classes. So you have to find these little entanglements that you can have between the 2 masteries, these synergies, and make the best use of them possible. From there, you can take your character in multiple directions. The mixed classes is something we support quite a lot, actually. But the core fantasy stuff, just a tanky warrior, of course you're gonna have that. You can take your character in many directions, and choice is at the core of our game. Your abilities will be modifiable, so each of them has like these several modifier choices that you can equip into your skill. This is our little innovation in this space. We are not going to be doing any microtransactions in this game because we don't believe in that form of monetization in general. We will be doing traditional DLCs, however. So after the 1.0 launch, we'll be putting out larger DLC packs, which will include additional chapters, so more content in general, bosses, creatures, areas, and masteries, of course. So Titan Quest II will be coming to Steam Early Access very soon. You can wishlist it now already, and we're looking for a summer timeline for this, and then later, the other platforms.
Titan Quest II is coming soon, and you can wishlist it on Steam or the Epic Games Store. Wait, legendary actor Yui Lowenthal?
The Spider-Man to my MJ? What are you doing here?
Hey guys.
Hey man.
I was just, wandering the sound stages, taking in the sights and smells, and then I heard you guys making noise about video games out here, and I thought I'd join in.
Okay, well, I mean, since you're already here, why don't you take the next trailer? Well, right?
I mean, if that's okay with you guys, I don't
No,
wanna...
it's great. Work your magic. We'll just be over here.
All right. Well, get ready, folks, because it's time for another world premiere. This one's a follow-up to a beloved puzzle adventure that launched back in 2020.
I have seen things that should be forgotten. I've tried to escape my past. I've had enough of death and madness. But the world is changing. Some now search for answers in the far reaches of the world. For shocking secrets and dizzying marvels. For there lies, upon this world of man, a mocking and incredible shadow out of time.
Call of the Elder Gods, starring yours truly, is a Lovecraftian narrative puzzle adventure coming soon to PC and consoles. So get it on your wish lists ASAP.
So you weren't just wandering the lot then?
I mean, I was, but then, you know, it's called marketing, Matt.
Yeah, Matt. Classic marketing.
Classic.
Anyway.
All right, catch you later.
Bye.
I gotta wander.
Hell yeah, thanks for coming, man.
Bye.
See you, bye. Okay, so while I go make sure there's no other voice actors hiding on set, we'll throw it out to some back-to-back trailers.
I'll stay here.
Breed Biocourse. How hard could it be? Hard.
We found paradise. We got company. Who wants some? Let's haul ass.
It's like capture the flag on crack.
Welcome to Veil of the Witch, a turn-based tactical RPG with a roguelite twist. You play as Ash, a shipwrecked castaway with no memories and a big-ass sword.
Let's see if I remember how to use it.
5 years after a bloody civil war, you wake up trapped on a mysterious island filled with monsters, cultists, and a whole lot of zombies.
Suffice to say, this whole island is madhouse.
Just a few hits. To stand a chance, you'll have to master each ally's unique kit, whether that's frontliner Marco, glass cannon caster Laurent, or backstabbing cutthroat Emile. All your abilities work on a cooldown, so you'll have to think smart. And coming soon to Xbox, PS5, and Nintendo Switch.
Can anyone hear me?
Dispatch to Unit 1. There is an ongoing fire.
Unit 1 to dispatch. Copy. Supply line ready.
Break that door open!
Let me get that sturdy Halligan first.
My clothes are about to catch fire!
Get an attack line in there!
Gotta go scout the area. That was close.
Cat, you're good?
Found one of the victims. Please, get me out of here.
We can't let the fire escalate like that.
I need help. Mayday! Mayday!
Firefighting Simulator. Ignite. United against fire. Coming fall 2025. Wishlist now on PC and consoles.
Are we all clear? No Nolan Norths or Ashley Johnsons waiting in the wings?
No, I think we're good. Okay. Now remember, folks, you can find all those games as well as every game we feature today on the Future Game Show Steam page.
Yes, and you'll want to prime your wish lists in advance for this next reveal. It's a game where you play as a bureaucratic inspector in a fantasy world.
What's like you make sure the evil layer is up to code before the party heads inside?
Yes, that's literally the whole deal.
Okay, I legitimately need this game.
I know.
Heroes. The world is full of them. Sons and daughters of farmers with too much bravery and not enough wisdom, so some say. But what is a hero without a princess to save? Without dragons to slay? Nothing. That's where you come in. As an agent at the Bureau of Fantastical and Arcane Affairs, you will ensure everything is as it should be for the hero's arrival.
Inside this cave, you'll find a necromancer who, according to our reports, is a complete and utter embarrassment to the story.
The book is titled Hell Gates Anew, Your First Ritual Sacrifice.
As it turns out, putting the soul of a demon inside of a skeleton is a touch more tricky than you might imagine.
We, the members of the United Builders Union of Enchanted Settlements, hereby announce a strike, effective immediate.
It's the inspector, here with their cushy job and their clipboard that decides if we have to do more work.
A dragon attack? That is not in the budget.
But what is a story without a good hero at its helm? With one unsanctimonious swing, you lop his head off. It hardly felt good, but incompetent evil is still evil. We are happy to welcome you, our newest agent to the cause. Wishlist the Bureau of Fantastical and Arcane Affairs today.
Oh, that's one for the critters. The Bureau of Fantastical and Arcane Affairs is coming later this year.
And now for something completely different. This one's for the fans of shooters, anime, and Y2K aesthetics.
That's me.
ができないあんたなら。
Waifu Tactical Force is a 3v3 anime shooter coming soon to PC, but you can jump into the open playtest on Steam after the show.
Now we've got a trailer for an action platformer inspired by the ancient art of paper folding. Let's take a look at Hirogami. Hirogami is coming to PC and PS5 on September 3rd. Fold it into your wish lists on Steam and the Epic Games Store. And check out the free demo, which is available on Steam.
Okay, time for an update on Eve Frontier. This is CCP Games' Spacebound Survival MMO.
Eve Frontier is an invitation for everyone that have had the idea in their brain to make a game. And often the best way to make a game is to start and modify an existing game. We have now created an MMO server-side modding platform, and we offer an invitation to you to come and build with us. You can build tools, you can build worlds, you can do so many things. And this is a great way to start your game development adventure by sort of playing around in the amazing survival space horror sandbox we have created. When we made EVE Online, we very much wanted to make a sandbox experience where most of the things and the infrastructure in the game would actually be built by players. But we did build quite a bit of it ourselves. Seeing what emerged from EVE, especially when it comes to the third-party development ecosystem, we could actually give a lot more agency to players to literally build the world. So as we go through this process of stripping down to a survival game, we are on the other hand building up an amazing modding platform. Basically what Eve Frontier enables third-party developers is to mod the actual server, creating additional software that both read and writes the world state. And that, I think, will enable something truly astounding that has never been seen before. But this is very much inspired by the third-party ecosystem that is developed around EVE Online. We are basically supercharging that with the smart assemblies and the modding platform we're built into Frontier. And what we have seen so far in our various hackathons and events, and what we've just seen in the sort of builder community overall, absolutely delivers on that vision in spades.
Founder access for Eve Frontier is available now, and you can head to evefrontier.com to jump in and find out more. What's up next, Laura?
We have a brand new trailer for Formula Legends, an arcade racing game that covers the history of motorsport.
Formula Legends is racing towards release on PC and consoles, but you can play the demo now on Steam and also wishlist it on Steam or the Epic Game Store. But for now, let's keep it rolling with our Ones to Play section, which is a future game show staple. It's a montage of exciting games that you can play on Steam right after the show.
So if you like what you're looking at, don't hesitate to download a demo and dig in.
Or what about Bloodgrounds? It's a gladiatorial roguelike with a city builder twist. You'll recruit, train, and command a crew of warriors in strategic turn-based battles, then develop a coastal city in the interim. Carve your name into the annals of history and spill buckets of blood in the process.
Last but not least, we've got How to Escape: Lost Submarine. With one player on PC or console and the other using a mobile companion app, you'll communicate and collaborate to complete puzzles and stop the outbreak of war. No pressure. That was our Ones to Play montage. Be sure to follow up on anything that caught your eye.
But let's keep on sailing with another exclusive trailer for a naval combat simulator set in the late 18th century.
Every voyage begins with a plan. A vision etched on parchment, foretelling glory or downfall. It is in our nature to conquer what others fear. Death and dishonor, fame and fortune. The life of a sea captain is one of duty and relentless pursuit. True riches are not in gold and jewels, but in the stories we bring back and the legend we become. But never at our final destination. So we chart our next course. We sail. We fight. We endure. For the voyage is life. And life is the voyage. Join the crew today on Kickstarter.
Check out the funding drive for Ahoy at ahoy.gg/Kickstarter. And you can also wishlist the game on Steam or the Epic Game Store.
The Spotlight montage is up next, so say goodbye to our corporeal bodies and hello to our disembodied voices.
What Matt means to say with that Gothic vocabulary is that we'll be back on stage once we've talked you through some super cool games.
That's what I meant. Flickshot Rogues is a turn-based strategy roguelike where you trade tactical trick shots for devastating damage. Across a constantly shifting cartoon peninsula, players will trigger explosive combos and commit to game-changing upgrades. It's coming to PC later this year, but you can try it for yourself ahead of time by checking out the free demo on Steam.
Now let's take a look at Under Par Golf Architect. an all-in-one simulator where you mold terrain to create world-class courses and then try them out firsthand. As well as placing the green and obstacles between, you'll manage staff, budgets, and customers on your way to crafting a golfer's paradise. It's coming soon to PC and consoles, but you can wishlist it now on Steam or the Epic Game Store.
Ascend to Zero is up next. It's a hack-and-slash roguelike where you play as the last surviving human of a devastated world. To help with that unfortunate predicament, you can freeze time to anticipate attacks and topple voxel monsters. Ascend to Zero is coming soon to PC, but in the meantime, you can check out the free demo on Steam and drop it onto your wish lists.
Or how about Animal Kind? This is a cozy cooperative town building game where you play as a crew of adorable critters in mech suits. Players will use their industrial-grade opposable thumbs to scavenge the landscape for materials and establish a community of cute creatures. Animal Kind is coming soon to PC. But if you head to the Steam page, you can sign up for the alpha playtest, which is arriving in July.
Next up is Don't Wake the Beast, but the developers have sent over an intricate overview, so I'll sit this one out.
Hi, my name is Timek. I'm the game designer and producer behind Don't Wake the Beast. Don't Wake the Beast is a stealth roguelike in which your goal is to steal as many treasures as possible and run away from the beast. The tricky part is that each treasure has its weight, and the more you pick up, the more noise you generate. But when you fail, there's always another run. My game will feature 4 biomes, all with unique mechanics and beasts. It's scheduled to release in 2026.
We're rounding things out with Worship, a cultist simulator where you try your best to bring about the end of the world. Inspired by Pikmin, this cute and creepy multiplayer roguelite tasks you with performing blood rites and recruiting followers to please the old ones. It's coming soon to PC, and you can wishlist it on Steam.
That was our Spotlight montage. We hope you enjoyed the Summer Showcase selection. Laura?
Oh, it's time for an update on Scum, the survival shooter with poop mechanics.
What?
Not as in like they're bad, no. Just like you have to manage your bowel movements to survive.
Oh, I might actually learn something. I love video games.
Peggy 18.
If those inspired reviews have grabbed your attention, then we're here to help.
Yep, you can head to the link on screen right now for a chance to win one of 100 keys for Scum 1.0.
And if you're not one of the lucky winners, then you'll just have to jump in with the rest of us when it launches on June 17th.
Now, our next game is a squad-based survival shooter where you dodge deadly dinosaurs. Here's the latest trailer for Death Ground.
Deadly dinos are on the loose in Death Ground. Whether you dare to enter solo or in a squad of up to 4 players, you must do everything you can to survive in these dinosaur-infested, abandoned facilities.
Could you survive? Hi, we're Jaw Drop Games, the indie dev team behind Death Ground.
The main threat you'll need to avoid is the raptors, specifically Utah raptors. So unlike velociraptors, which are much smaller, they measure around 7 feet tall. I'm about 5'3", so that's a pretty menacing heights comparison for me.
We've spent most of our development time taming them, and it's been a huge challenge because...
How do you get something that size with that tail to behave all in multiplayer?
Exactly. Of course, there'll be other dinosaurs for you to deal with. The #1 culprit for causing chaos is the Compsognathus, aka the Compy.
What might look like a decent hiding space for you as players might actually be a refuge for these little creatures, putting the terror in territory.
As for other species, you may spot the Allosaurus, Brachiosaurus, and Triceratops roaming around in the background.
And the next thing you know, you're being chased by a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
There are multiple maps and missions that will be playable at launch. Mission Command, the single-player tutorial and introduction level.
Geothermal, where you'll need to repair everything so you can restart the power plant.
Agricultural, which has become a little bit overgrown and it is in need of some weeding.
And biomedical, which is my personal favourite, where you'll have to sneak in and steal raptor eggs. You know, for science.
Each mission is replayable and is an important piece of the puzzle. Each detail or collectible that you come across will help you unlock the lore and discover the truth about the disastrous events of the past.
Deathground is launching on Steam Early Access this year. Keep a lookout for our roadmap.
Deathground is launching into Steam Early Access later this year. Keep an eye out for Roar news on that front.
I am refusing to acknowledge that pun, so let's move on with our second Ones to Watch deep dive, shall we? Here's Rogue Factor to tell us more about the studio's new weird action-adventure game, Hell is Us.
What happened here? Madness and hatred and lots of it.
Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Jacques Belated, and I am the Executive Creative Director and the Executive Art Director on Hell is Us here at Rogue Factor. So the game that we've been developing for pretty much almost 5 years now is a game called Hell is Us. So the game is definitely like an action-adventure game.
It is set in the world of Adia. It's a rogue state where there's a lot of really weird things happening. You play Remy. He was born there. He was raised in a foster system in Canada, and he's going back basically to find answers.
This thing that games do now, contemporary games, where the adventuring is just, if you think about it, the exploration and the discovery, they're only there by theme. You had just been following marker after marker, and until the last marker is over your actual thing you needed to find. Almost all the variables connected to the exploration and connected to your discovery are given to you in a silver platter. So we look at it kind of like the inverse in our game because we got rid of all these things.
I remember chatting with John about the old Zelda games, how it was straightforward and like you had just enough to know where to go, but not too much.
It's basically how life works if you think about it, right? We basically orient ourselves by sight and hearing and what people tell us, right?
Once in the woods, follow the wind chimes. They will lead the way through.
You talk to NPCs and they're literally going to tell you a clue, right? So Rebecca and Jova, when she kind of hints you where the Owen convoy, the direction that it took, she says, I don't know where they went exactly, but I know they took the road that goes behind the weird monuments. And she says, you can see them from here. And as you're talking to her, behind her, quite far, you see some peculiar monument-looking thing. You're like, is that what she's talking about? Like, is that if I go, and then you go there and you see the road that turns, and it's maybe the convoy did come here. I think that's kind of very unique, and it works really, really well. Like any game, especially a game of almost 40 hours, sometimes it works better than others. No game is absolutely perfect, but it's very much it's the joy of exploration, the joy of discovery. Yeah.
The Abbey is closed. Official AAF business.
Of course, we can't talk about Hell is Us without talking about our monsters. And the enemies, the limbic entities, are physical manifestations of human emotions, of human negative emotions. What does an emotion look like? Who knows? So we had many iterations. We ended up with these kind of like fractally, geometrically thingies, So we have grief, ecstasy, terror, and rage. So the Hollow Walker represents a bit, it's just a husk. That's why we call it the Hollow Walker. And it's a bit like a facsimile of a human being who's felt this very strong negative emotion. And then they look like that because we tried a lot of things and they ended up looking like this, So you'll be able to play Hell is Us on September 4th, 2025 on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and obviously PC.
Wishlist it now because Hell is Us is coming to PC and consoles on September 4th.
All right, I think we're due another world premiere, don't you? This one's an action-adventure set in a drop-dead gorgeous cartoon world.
And And it stars some very familiar faces.
Wait, is it us?
Maybe. Let's throw to someone who knows while I take this totally real phone call. Hello? Hi.
Hey Laura, hey Matt. I'm super excited to be back on the Future Game Show where I belong, and you are doing a fantastic job. Like I said to the producers when I was hosting, if you strike me down, this is live, isn't it? So yeah, New Tales reached out and I am officially in their game. Actually, seeing you just reminded me, they're looking for a killer writer who can also perform. Let me call Jasmine. Look, it's fine. You're doing great for time. Hey, Jazz.
Hi, Sam.
I've got a really cool gig. Want to join me in a game? If we're both in, I'm pretty sure Matt and Laura will be on board too.
Yeah, sure. I'll be in a game with you. But only if you're coming to the D&D group next week, because our party could really use a barbarian.
All right. I guess we're all doing this. That was easy. So let's check out exactly what we're getting ourselves into.
That's right, we're joining Samantha Bayard, yes, Karlak herself, and the awesome Jasmine Bular in Fading Echo, coming to PCs and consoles next year.
And you can wishlist it today on Steam or the Epic Game Store. Go, 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 go!
We got another block of back-to-back trailers up next. Let's dig in.
We have been blessed to live in times of peace, but our city is not without its enemies. The demons above, and the beasts below.
All right, I'm pumped. Let's do this.
You're going to be bishops too?
Through Shale, all things are possible.
It's time the three of you learn the true purpose of the bishops. Listen up.
We recruit from the finest soldiers in the church, and still, 1 out of every 3 bishops doesn't make it past the first year.
Does it get easier after that?
We gave you those robes for a reason. Damn, I love the church.
We're back, and you can wishlist all of those games by heading to
The Future Game Show Steam page?
the Future Game Show's Steam page.
With that out of the way, it's time for a spine-tingling closer look at the next game from the minds behind Until Dawn.
Directive 8020 is about a deep space mission to save humanity and the shape-shifting alien who gets in the way. Let's throw it over to Supermassive Games to find out more.
We are going to do this. Just lower the gun.
Not until you move from the scanner.
Those things can change shape.
Don't you ever point that thing at me again.
Scan complete. Subject unidentifiable.
We need urgent assistance. Please. Help us.
But what if that went differently? Hey, I'm Will Doyle, Creative Director on Directive 8020, and I'm here to share with you a new feature that we've added for the first time in a Dark Pictures game. Turning Points is a new narrative system which allows you to go back and change the outcome of your choices. As with all our games, Directive 8020 has a branching story with multiple endings. You'll be able to track the choices and paths that you've taken in the game and see alternate paths that link to each of the major decisions that you've made. With Turning Points, you can rewind to a pivotal point or decision, collect missing collectibles, or see how different choices would have played out. By the same token, your actions matter in our games. If you want to live by your decisions, there's also a survivor mode setting that prevents you from rewinding, but still lets you view the decision tree. Turning Points will be available both digitally and physically for all copies of the game from when you start your very first mission.
Directive 8020 introduces the ability to rewind and change your choices to see the consequences in each branching path.
It's coming to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox in 2025, and if it's not on your wish list already, go fix that.
Our next game is just as scary, but for entirely different reasons. Cairn is a death-defying climbing simulator with a meticulous control scheme. Here's the game bakers to tell you more.
Cairn is what we call a survival climber. Your goal is to climb a mountain and reach a summit no one has ever conquered. You can climb almost anywhere, and the climbing mechanics are highly realistic. You'll need to carefully manage your balance and stamina. Make a mistake, and you'll fall and get hurt. For the first time, we are also showing what it's like to climb at high altitudes. When you get up there, you'll face ice walls that require you to use ice axes and spikes. But don't think you can just jam your tools into the ice. Ice climbing is precise. You'll need to aim for cracks and edges to get a solid grip. Cairn's realistic climbing system also supports mixed climbing. That means you can have one hand on the rock and the other using an ice tool. It's up to you to read the rock face and choose the most strategic route to the top. Cairn is coming up on PlayStation 5 and Steam later this year. You can already give it a try in the demo available on PC and PS5.
Cairn is coming to PlayStation and PC later this year, and you can also check out a free demo on both platforms after the show. What's next, Matt?
We're mixing things up with a double bill of trailers. Here are 2 great games from our friends at Quali. Hark the Ghoul and Ground Zero are both coming soon to PC. What's up next, Laura?
We're taking a look at a game called Hella. It's a cooperative folklore adventure where you and your friends band together as brave little mice.
Hella is coming soon to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, so give it a wish list on Steam or the Epic Game Store.
Moving swiftly on, it's time for a look at Ludo. This is a psychological thriller where the protagonist is trapped inside their own home, and we're about to find out when you can play it.
Peggy 18.
How can you distinguish between what is real and what isn't? Do you trust what you see? What you hear? What happens when everything starts to feel wrong? To seem fake? Like a trick?
Ludo is coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox. In the meantime, you can wishlist it on Steam or the Epic Game Store.
It's world premiere time again, and this next reveal arrives with an introduction from a very special someone.
Hello everyone. I'm excited to be a part of Future Game Show 2025. There are so many amazing games coming out, and I'm very happy that I have a bit more time to play them these days. As many of you know, I have been a huge fan of the work of N-Dreams. Synapse is my favorite VR game of all time, and I'm honored to present this new groundbreaking title from the team. If you are at Summer Game Fest, I shall see you on the show floor at the N-Dreams booth. So, it is my pleasure to introduce you to Reach.
Reach is an ambitious virtual reality action adventure coming to PSVR, Steam, and MetaQuest in 2025.
Okay, Matt, it's time to check in with everybody's favorite depressed and recently divorced duck.
Oh, yes, it could only be the Duck Detective.
He may have cracked the mystery of the secret salami, but when you're that good at your job, there's always a new case to solve.
I'm used to the cold embrace of loneliness, and this vacation will be the end of me.
Hi, I'm Annika.
And I'm Johnny. We're Happy Broccoli Games based in Berlin, Germany.
Our newest game is Duck Detective, the Ghost of Glamping, where you are the one and only Duck Detective, a depressed and recently divorced duck who must quack the case.
Inspect evidence, make deductions, and solve this no-murder mystery.
To the annoyance of the Duck Detective, he is joined by a new partner in solving crime, Freddy the Crocodile. Work together to unravel the truth and nibble on the crumbs of justice. Right now, we're working on a simplified Chinese language update that is coming out later this year.
We're very excited for you to play. The game is out on Steam, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One and Series XS, and PlayStation 5. Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Are those bread slices?
Duck Detective.
The Ghost of Glamping!
Duck Detective, the Ghost of Glamping has already waddled its way onto PC and consoles, so go check it out if you haven't already.
Okay, we've had plenty of exciting premises so far, but how about a rhythm roguelike from the maestros behind Patapon? Well, get on your dancing shoes, folks, because Ratatan is up next.
Ratatan is coming to Steam Early Access on July 25th, but there's a free demo available on Steam if you want to give it a try.
And we're following that bombshell with a new trailer for Agatha Christie, Death on the Nile, an interactive 70s twist on the beloved detective mystery.
It's Poirot, don't you know?
Oh.
It can't be. It's Hercule Poirot. Monsieur Poirot, I guess you know why I asked you to come.
What do you suggest I do? And can you confirm that all the passengers are present for the meal?
Yes, we keep the list. Everyone is here.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry to disrupt what promised to be a beautiful day, but I have some terrible news. But we must stay calm if we want to find the culprit. I have a small idea of the situation.
I'm May Leach. My, you got here quickly. I've just finished my latest case. Okay, let's see what I can find.
But someone is lying to me. It is a big case, Miss Royce. A dangerous one. What do we have here?
Thank you, Mr. Poirot. I'm now going to search each of you. Then there's still time to stop them before they strike again.
Tomorrow, the day at least is here. Every question must have its answer.
Agatha Christie, Death on the Nile is coming to PC and consoles in September of 2025, but you can wishlist it now on Steam or the Epic Game Store.
Okay, I don't want to build up this next trailer too much, but let's just say you're gonna flip.
Oh, the puns. Soinks, Laura! House Flipper 2 Scooby-Doo is meddling its way onto PC and consoles this Scootober.
Now we're starting to close in on the end of the show, but not before we show you our final ones to watch deep dive.
Our team behind the scenes visited the Hangar 13 office for an exclusive insight into Mafia: The Old Country. Here's all the gory details.
Mafia: The Old Country is both a prequel to the original Mafia trilogy, and it also sets things up for what might be to come in the future, going back to 1900s Sicily, so the birth of not just the Mafia game, but also the actual Mafia itself, back to where organised crime first really came from.
In Mafia: The Old Country, you play as a character called Enzo Favara, who's an upcoming gangster trying to make his way in the Sicilian Mafia.
As a child, he's worked in the sulfur mines, sold there by his parents, a really horrible upbringing for a kid, which unfortunately happened back in those days. So he doesn't know family, he doesn't really know love. He escapes, he falls in with the Teresi crime family, and then this game really, this story shows his rise through the ranks as he goes from being this impoverished young man to a made man.
For Mafia: The Old Country, we moved to Unreal Engine 5, which has really enabled us to do incredible things with the characters, with the landscapes, with the cinematics. Every single aspect of the game has undergone a significant graphical upgrade.
Mafia has always been about pushing the technology of its day to do the best in cinematic storytelling and exciting narrative gameplay. It really makes what's already an emotional story even more emotional and meaningful.
We've been able to capture incredible nuances in the mocap, in the acting, in all of the character performances that's really helped us to bring our story to life. And as a little taste of what's in store, we've got a cinematic to show which shows a key moment in Enzo's story.
Peggy 18.
Come forward. All of the men in this room are bound by blood. This is a family. And in this family, we follow a code of honor. It's a way of life, a brotherhood.
You're here because of your deeds and the assertions of those who stand at your side.
This life is one of secrecy. If you make a friend, meet a woman, they must not know about our thing.
It is binding. It is not forgiving. To betray one is to betray all. Do you wish to commit yourself, your life, to this family?
Yes. I do.
Then, before the eyes of all here present, join me. To become a man of honor, repeat these words. I swear my loyalty to this family.
I swear my loyalty to this family.
My flesh must burn like this saint if I do not keep my oath.
My flesh must burn like this saint if I do not keep my oath.
Welcome, Enzo.
Benvenuto, Enzo.
Benvenuto, Enzo. Benvenuto.
Salute.
Salute.
Take a trip to Sicily when Mafia of the Old Country lands on August 8th for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Next on our docket is a developer presentation for Tenet of the Spark. If you haven't seen it all over social media, this is a time-hopping brawler where you solve puzzles and crush enemies across 3 distinct timelines.
Hey, what's up? I'm Artem, the game director at Rogue Games, a small indie team scattered around the globe. We're making our first game, Tenet of the Spark.
The true power of the Spark!
It's a cinematic action where you fight bad guys over 3 timelines. Present day, the Viking Age, and the Aztec civilization, all at the same time. You got it, right?
Ancestor, I need you.
And it's not just for show. You have to use all 3 characters to explore, deal with tricky enemy types, and solve puzzles. It also answers questions you thought you'd never ask. Like, how the hell does this black boxer have a Viking for the great-great-great-grandpa? Or why does this train car turn into a giant rock? And the biggest question is, why did they risky roll with such a difficult project? Because we wanted to play a game where you can start with classic 1-2, then send your opponent across the arena with your hammer, switch again to pull this dude a little closer, hit him with a huge combo across all 3 timelines.
The hell are you?
And now we're making that game with the blood, sweat, and spark. Planet of the Spark. You got it, right?
I got a little mini-me. Look, psh, psh, psh. Watch the hook, watch the hook.
We're not dropping the release date yet because we want to do it right. But we can say it's coming to both PC and consoles. Follow and wishlist Planet of the Spark on Steam. And go look at your family album. Maybe your grandpa was a badass like mine. You never know.
Thank you to Roar Games for the inside scoop on Tenet of the Spark. It's coming soon to PC and consoles, so pop it on your wish lists. All right, what have you got for us, Laura?
A first look at gameplay for Creasol Theater of Idols. This is a first-person horror shooter for fans of BioShock and Resident Evil. You fight creepy statues on a tormented island and use blood as your ammunition.
I'm gonna pre-order it right now.
Almighty Son, guide my path in this hour of darkness. As the shadows of the abyss close in, let your sacred light banish them. And if I am to fall, let my flesh turn to ash, so my soul may ascend to you. Consumed in your flames for all eternity, now and forever. Creasol.
Holy moly, that looks good.
You're telling me. Creasol Theater of Idols is coming to PC, Xbox, and PS5 later this year, and your Steam wish lists in just a few moments, probably.
I hate to say it, Matt, but I think we've arrived at the final trailer.
Okay, well, how do you want to do this?
Okay, I'm thinking we both look into that camera right there,
Okay.
and we're both sad that the show's over. But it's okay, because that last trailer's really cool, and so the folks at home will be happy, and we've done a good job, I think. So, does that work?
You know, sounds perfect to me. Please enjoy our final world premiere.
Ooh, I liked it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Welcome, sisters, daughters of Hortus, to these blessed halls of Porthbarrow. You have been chosen, honored to the parish, to serve the will of Mother. So come, step forward. Let us see what flowers she's given us. Such radiant blooms. So full of promise. Now, I must confess a change in plans. You shan't be entering the garden today. Take heart, faithful ones. The garden must still be tended. And tonight, you will be sown!
No, hold on. I've got something to show you. Ah, I bet you didn't expect that, did you?
That was your first look at Ritual Tides, a terrifying odyssey where you tango with Lovecraftian terrors. Wishlist it now because it's coming soon to PC.
We'll have the full gameplay reveal during the next Future Game Show in August, so mark your calendars for that. However, that does mean we've reached the very end of this year's Summer Showcase.
Don't go anywhere though, because FGS Live from Los Angeles airs right after this, with even more exclusive trailers, developer deep dives, and world premieres.
We'd like to thank everybody who has tuned into the Summer Showcase, as well as the dream-weaving developers who put their all into those amazing trailers we debuted.